Hello, Frubens. I'm Pablo, and welcome to After School Rewind. We are here catching up with the people who we grew up watching and shaped our childhood through public media TV. This season, I'm talking to cast members from the Emmy Award-winning PBS KIDS series Zoom. My guest today, I'm so excited, is Lynese, who is my castmate on the 1999 season, who I have not seen in many, many years. We all helped reintroduce Zoom. We are going to have a chat like we used to have a chat. We're going to get real and we're going to catch up and we're going to find out what's been going on.
Pablo. I can't even remember. Pablo. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. But you still got it though. It's deep. It'll never leave you. It'll never.
Never.
Lynese, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, Pablo. I'm living life. I'm still learning who Lynese is as a person. I'm evolving. I'm growing. I'm mothering, adulting. I'm living all of it, and thankful to be on the right side.
Yes, and thankful to be here together and to do this. And so we never talked about our experience on the show. Like, how was it for you? How was it for me? We did the show. We were in this bubble for a whole summer, right? And we became super tight and we had an amazing experience and then whisked off into the world.
Bye.
Yeah. And then most of us went into, because I think we were about the same age, went into high school, right? Which was a whole other thing, which we'll get to. And then from there, whether work or college or whatever, and then you're just off and running. And then 27 years later, we're here. So I'm just glad that we're just taking a beat. We're stopping things for a second and we're getting to do this. So let me rewind all the way back pre-Zoom. Who is Lynese at that point, like right before Zoom? How did you find out about Zoom? What made you want to do it? Like, how did it all come about?
So pre-Zoom, I was Lynese in the Rogers Middle School, and I had done a play, Into the Woods, and I was the baker's wife. And I sang and acted, and it was just a really fun time. And not too soon after, someone came in and they were looking for kids to do auditions for a show. And one of the guidance counselors came up to me and she said, "Do you want to audition for a TV show?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess. Sure." She goes, "All right, it's called Zoom." And she gave me the information. We connected. I went on the audition, not really thinking anything of it. It was just like, all right, let's do it. Let's see what happens. Went in, did my thing. I can't even remember. Did they give us lines?
No, so I did a chat with a group of the Zoomers not long ago. I remembered and I shared my first, so the cattle call, 850 kids. And I know that because I was 850, I think. I showed up late. They weren't going to let me in, but the guy who was at the front, he asked me, he said, "How old are you?" And I said, "I'm 12. And then he let me in. And I don't know if it was because they were looking for
That
that
particular
age.
age,
I
maybe,
have no
because I
idea.
was
Or he,
turning 13
you were
as
12,
well.
right? Yes. Or he felt bad for me because I had driven an hour.
Come on, kid, get in here. Come on.
So I remember that audition. They were like, "Do whatever you want. Poem, whatever." And I sang a New Edition song.
Which one? Which one you sing?
I'm Still in Love with You.
Oh, Pablo.
I'm still in love with you. No matter what your friends do.
I can see it. We vibed, Pablo. We vibed.
We did vibe. We did vibe, Lynese. We did vibe. Okay.
Yeah.
So you did the audition.
So did the audition.
And then there were like 4 other callbacks. Do you remember finding out that you made the show? and what was your
I
reaction?
believe
Did you even know the extent of, like, what it meant to be
I
cast on that
didn't.
show?
This is remember I mentioned that earlier, like, I didn't realize,
Right.
like, how big this really was. This was a big deal, and maybe because a lot of the people around me didn't make too much of a big deal of it either, just to kinda keep me a little level-headed, like, "Okay, this is cool," but, so it was just like when I did get the news that I got the show, I was super excited. Like, oh, okay, I've never done this before. This is so cool. Like, yes. And then we got into it.
You were one of the only cast members that was actually from Boston, right?
Yes.
You were living
Yes,
in
I lived
Boston.
in Boston. I lived in Dorchester, and my family lived in Dorchester, and that was my life kinda before Zoom. I was chilling with my fam, going to school. It was all about family, and then in came Zoom. It was cool.
Did you have any idea, because you were in Boston and Zoom was big in the '70s and the association with Boston, was there any connection at all? So this was for you, like, the first time you had ever really even heard of
Yes,
Zoom?
yes. When they started
Wow.
to explain it, I was like, "Oh, so it's like a throwback. We okay, it's a remake. Oh, okay, this is cool." But I didn't know anything about Bernadette. I didn't know anything about the moves. I didn't know. So once we joined the cast and we were able to meet them, that's when I was like, "Oh wow, this is for real, for real."
What was your favorite part about it? The performing and doing all the different things? Was it
Pablo, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it
please?
a buck. So while we were in the process, I don't think I was connecting. Like
Hmm.
this is like an amazing opportunity. This is a door opening to maybe so many other
Mhm.
possibilities. I didn't
Yeah, yeah.
think that seriously about it. I didn't. And I regret that I didn't think that seriously about it. But I was young. We were 12. It turned 13. Like I didn't and it wasn't something that I experienced before. Um,
Right,
but
right.
now, oh my goodness, when I actually think about being in the moment and being on stage and being able to read things that was created by kids for kids, the science projects that we did, all of the knowledge that came into that show. Like, how dope. We were able to bring that to the people. And no, it wasn't social media, but it was almost like a form of it. We were connecting through mail and sharing, and it was cool. I keep saying that, but it's for real. Like, that's how I feel about it now. And even more so now that we get to hear people say, wow, you were a really big part of my life. Like, I rushed
Mm,
home after school to turn on Zoom and watch.
mhm.
Like even y'all are going ham in that intro, like I even love those little comments. We were making an impact, and that's just now when I think about it, it's just amazing. And it was a great opportunity to be the, you know, the young brown girl on TV representing the little ladies out there who look like me, you know? Yeah.
Definitely wanna touch on that because Zoom was really ahead of its time in that sense. I mean, it was a diverse
Yes,
cast.
it was.
And by the way, that's what it was back in the '70s. Like, it started that way, which even back then was like, whoa, ahead of its time. So for me, like, I grew up in Lowell, kind of north of Boston in a
Yeah.
city, and my friends were all types of people. So to me, it felt very like, okay, like this is
This is
just
a
the
regular day.
norm, for
Yeah.
me. It's like a regular day. But I do think being able for kids where maybe there isn't as much diversity to see people of all shades
Mhm.
and all
Mhm.
personalities and all heights and
Right.
sizes, I think is so special and
Yes.
important. And then on the flip side, for people to then see themselves in
Mhm.
us and feel represented
Presented.
and feel seen, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
did you think about that or, like, have this sense of, like, the impact that you would no.
No,
And so
I
it was
didn't.
only later on in life where did you hear from people that said seeing you on TV was
I knew that it was something when I would meet someone or someone would recognize me or they'd wanna give me, like, a hug or, "Hey, Lynese," or "What's up, Elle?" "And I'm Lynese," and they do, Lynese. They do the little bounce, I'm like, "Oh, okay,
they do the thing. It's
I see you," So now
I love it.
having those moments, it's like, wow, people were really children, kids our age, like, they were really
Yeah,
into this show, and it made an impact in a lot of lives, like, we were friends to many kids. Friends to
right.
many
Right,
kids, who were experiencing
right.
things or going through hard times, like, they express those things now, but didn't know before, but it makes my heart smile that we were able to do that for people, it really does.
So let's talk about the experience on the show. Were there any specific segments that you liked to do the most? Whether it was cafe Zooms or Zoom Playhouse
Ooh.
or the games, right? It's
That's
hard. It's
hard,
a hard question.
because I think I forgot that we did so many segments too, but when I go back and watch the
Right.
videos again, it's like, "Oh, yes, we did do that, and we did do that.
Yeah.
I remember that," and it starts to come back, so I definitely love Zoom Cafe. Cooking is one of the
Yes.
things that I like to do, so Zoom Cafe, definitely. Zoom Sci every now and then. And I liked reading the mail. I liked reading the mail
Mm.
from the fans. What about you? Like, what was some of your favorite segments? I know it's hard.
It is hard. I wanna say the segments where we got to be together,
Mhm.
because I think what a lot of people don't realize was, we got pulled
Yes.
away. We were so we had this
Mm.
Zoom zone, right,
Mm.
where we were
The
hanging
Zoom
out.
Zone,
We were having fun, and then we get pulled away. "No, we gotta
right?
work." You know what I mean? You gotta work. So I liked and I wanna come back to you because you clearly have something to
Yes.
say. I liked I liked when we got to do things together because then we weren't pulled away, right?
Mhm.
So when we were doing the
Mhm,
games
mhm.
or when we were doing the plays and we actually got to put on, a
Yes.
character. Even the chats when we all got to just, like,
Sit down and
talk,
talk.
So that those for me, I mean, I liked the cafe Zooms, I liked those things, but I think the times where we got to all be
Connect.
together
Yeah.
was cool. So tell me, what were you gonna what's up something came up you thought about.
So I used to get so annoyed when they would pull us away from the Zoom zone. Like, ugh, we were just getting into something that we probably shouldn't have. But we were chilling, and then they would come. Oh, come on, you got to take that walk to the set. Time to work. So
Gotta work.
sometimes I don't. I was a little attitudey. At times.
Listen, we were
Attitude.
12, we were,
So, of
13.
course, my
Yeah.
moms would get the call like, "So, is Lynese, like, is she good? She's not really, like, Zoomish today." And I'm like, "Ugh, I am being Zoomish. Like, come on, let's just do this and so I can get back to the Zoom zone. Like, let's go." So,
So one of the things that I remember in the Zoom zone was that you and the other
well,
girls, and this was the late '90s, would turn into the Spice Girls.
yes,
You remember
yes.
that?
And there's a video of this. And
There's proof, yes.
the night that I went to my prom for senior year, that is the video that my dad decided to have on the television before we left for the prom.
Oh,
So, yeah,
why?
yeah, that's my memory of that. But
Oh my
yes,
gosh.
I don't know why Pablo, I don't know, but it was cute, I guess. It was cute. But we definitely had a fun time making that, doing that. I think we were dressed like the Spice Girls too, like, we really got into it.
Again, this was in the Zoom
Yes.
zone. We were
We
having
were we were
fun. We were having
collaborating,
fun.
we were cooking things up in the Zoom.
That's where they should have had
Right.
the cameras
That would have
on.
been behind the scene, the Zoomers behind the scenes. That would have been fun.
What I always noticed about you and I always like admired was your skills in dancing. I think it was very, very evident for anyone who's watching the show and specifically the opening when we are all doing our dancing. We're all a little off except for Lynese.
So,
Lynese got it down. So, all right, I
I went hard.
know that didn't come out of nowhere. So tell me about your
So,
skills.
I was also dancing before Zoom. I was part of an nonprofit organization, Origination, and part of a dance troupe. So, I also danced, and I knew the choreographer who was on set, Wyatt Jackson. When I saw him, I was like,
Mm,
"Oh my gosh, it's Wyatt!" Like, I know him. That was a connection, and that just made me feel
wow.
comfortable enough to, like, to dance. I dance. I know how to dance, so I'm a dance. We dancing. so, so, I did what I knew how to do and what I loved to do at the time as well. So yeah, yeah, I was going hard. Yeah.
We had this question from Nikki from Illinois who said, I would love to know why my fave Lanice did the Bankhead Bounce on her intro move. I did it with her though
That's
each
right.
time.
There was mad people
So
doing it with me, and I'm Lenny.
so where did your I'm Lanice, that move, what was that you were just feeling it and you
Yeah,
did it? Like
I think
where did it come?
I think I just hit it. And I'm Lynese. I'm a little silly too. So I'm like, yeah, that goes. I like it. And I just did it. I liked the move and I felt like it went perfectly with that. And I'm Lynese. So, I had to do it. I had to do it.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. Well, I hear about it a lot from people. And so I'm glad that we finally got
I see that
some
comment too.
some
Like, no, she
clarity.
didn't hit the bankhead. Like, Lanice with the Bankhead Bounce. Yes. It was just, I don't know. But I love that you all see it and love it and appreciate it.
What I loved about I mean, we had like you were saying, we had this vibe. I don't know what it was. We connected and I loved being in segments with you. I remember, and I can't remember what the segment was, where we
Mm,
could
Stop
not stop
laughing.
laughing.
I felt like that happened often because we chilled in the Zoom zone. So we knew like we were silly. We had that, that vibe. I think we were just like the two kids that maybe had similar experiences in life, and that
Yeah.
just that
Yeah.
just brought us
Yeah.
closer together. Not to say that I didn't have those
Right.
relationships with the others, because I did. But you and I, it was just
Mhm.
like when you said something, I knew what you was talking about, and when I said something, you knew what I was talking about. So we connected that way. So I think when we got on set and tried to turn it off, like the inside voice was like, "Oh, no."
You really had a like you even were saying, you were silly, you had this energy, like you were you and confident and you like didn't shy away from it. What was behind that? Like what made you so especially doing something that you'd never done before and we had lights, camera, all
I
the
know,
things.
right? Yeah, I think that was just it. I mean, I can also give props to, the women in my life who have raised me. They've all been confident, strong women who, put their best foot forward and onward and upward. So this to me was like, oh, all right, well, this is something that I have to do. Okay, let's do it. And I also think it's being young. when you're young, you're fearless. You just do things. Don't think about, "Oh, what am I gonna look like? What is it gonna sound like?" And well, maybe not everyone, or I didn't think that way. "Oh my gosh, what is it gonna be like? What is it gonna look like?" Well, it was just like, "Okay, let's do it." You know?
Make a great point, and I guess part of it is how we grew up and the people who we were surrounded
Mhm.
by, but also the environment that we were in that allowed us to do
Yes.
that. Like, I never felt like, "Oh, if I don't do this, it's gonna
I'm gonna be
disappoint," or it's gonna
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
we just did it, and if it took us 100 takes to
It
do
took
it,
us
it took like,
100
no
takes.
one ever said like, when we kept on laughing, I mean, we probably did like 20 takes, if not
Um,
more, but no one was like,
but I felt did some of the crew, like, start laughing too? I mean, it was infectious. I mean, maybe not. Maybe I like to imagine that, to take some of the heat off of us. But no, they were very patient with us. They were.
yes, exactly. Yeah, and I think I think that's probably also it too, like, we had that
Mhm.
space, right? We had that
Mhm.
space to, we had this live chat earlier and Francis said it, we had the space to be
Yes, we
children,
did. We
you
actually
know?
did.
And was there anything that you learned? Like, was there anything coming into this experience, different cast members from different towns and cities, different upbringings, different cultures? How did you find that experience? And did you learn or take anything away from that?
Yes. Your culture, going to Zoe's house and experiencing her home and her parents and
Mhm.
Elisa and her dad and his Irish brogue and her mom, so beautiful. I'd never seen anyone who looked like like this family before, Beautiful.
Yeah. They were
Yes,
Russian,
they're sorry,
Russian.
Russian. I'm sorry. Um, the Russian
No, yeah.
accent, like, it was just so like, "Whoa, that is" so I definitely took away the experiences of learning about different people and, oh, they're
Yeah.
it definitely took me out of Dorchester, Roxbury, Mattapan. It brought me to different, areas of where we live. And, it actually made me a little more comfortable going into high school because it was kind of the same setting. I entered into the METCO program, which is where inner city students are bused out to schools that are a little further away and more, wealthy towns and neighborhoods. So, I was like, "Okay, I've experienced a little bit of this."
Was that always the plan or what, like
No, it kinda happened the same way the show came about. Like, it was like, "Oh, here you go. I got this little thing. You want
mm,
it?" You know? Um, one of the other guidance counselors from yeah, the school another guidance counselor, I mean, yeah, another guidance counselor was like, "Have you ever heard of Metco? Do you wanna go to this school?" And I'm like, "Huh?" But my mother was actually part of the Metco program when she came here from Jamaica. Um, so I joined and
oh.
I was like, "Oh, this is a nice experience. It's different." And I was able to
Mm.
have those experiences with different people. And it also, not to say that I'm not thankful for the experience, but it also just made me realize the difference in the lives that people live. Like I was like, "Oh, wow." The homes, the schools, the cars, it was just different from from where I lived. Not to say that, we don't have those things, but it wasn't just like, you know, there.
Honestly, that's what it was for me. That's what it was for me. I mean, I grew up very poor and my family supported by a lot of government
Yep.
programs. There was a time where my dad went away and, it was just my mom and
Yes.
didn't have enough money to have rent, so we lived in a shelter for a little
Yep.
bit. Like,
Yep.
that was life. That was
Mhm.
reality. And what my experience on Zoom was, it was so eye-opening. I didn't realize the possibilities.
Yes.
I honestly didn't. It was the first time I realized that college was an actual
Same.
thing, like, was an actual, like, "Oh, I can do that."
Mhm.
And only because I was hearing about it from other cast members. I'm like, "What are they talking
Yep.
about?"
Yep.
Because how I grew up, it was really just like, "Look, you work, if you finish school, but you just get a job and you make money and you just do, keep your head down, you do what you gotta
Yes.
do?" And all of a sudden, I was like, "Whoa,
But
there's so much out
there's
there."
so much more I can
Yeah,
do, achieve, accomplish, and, "Oh, no. I gotta do
yeah.
these things."
Yeah, yeah, so it kinda lit a fire for me, which was
Mhm.
exciting. So I wanna talk about, we can't have a conversation, not talk about our dear friend Jared, who obviously it was just such a heartbreak for us, and for many people, and we loved him
Yes.
dearly. What were some of your fondest memories with
His
Jared?
smile, the way that he would just be so charismatic and joke around. But he also had, like, this kind of, like, mature way about him as well, you know? I just he it was hard to hear that he was no longer, you know, with us, and I actually didn't hear about it when it happened. I think I heard about it maybe further, like, down the line. So I was really in shock, like, "What? Where have I been? And what?" Yeah, it was hard to hear. It was hard to see.
How you describe Jared is how I very much, remember him as just this kind of like,
Energy.
light, this energy, and, he just had it
Mhm,
together. You know
mhm.
what I mean? Like, he was just so, like, on point, and also, similarly, I had this vibe with him. Now, we also bonded over
Yes.
wrestling, like, we were both wrestling fanatics, and part of what we did in the Zoom zone was get into trouble by, like, stacking these bean bags and, jumping off chairs.
Yep, yep, tying things around your necks, like little capes and things. Yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
And we carpooled. I don't know if yeah, we carpooled because he lived in Southern New Hampshire and I was right on the border, and so we would carpool all the time. So yeah, we got super close, and it was just always
Mhm,
fun. It's just always we just always had fun. I think that was like, you just always felt
mhm.
good and you always had fun and felt
Yes.
good,
He was
when you were
he
in
was
his
a light.
presence.
He was a light, and he was always good, positive energy, even in times when we all needed maybe a little pep talk or a little getting together sometimes, you know? Jared, he always came through with the words that we needed to hear, like from someone who was kind of the big bro.
For sure. How was the show for you afterwards? Like, how did that change? Did it change your life at all? The show comes out, it's everywhere, and you're about to start high school. You got a little bit of money. It's not, we got paid, we got the
We
minimum,
but
but
we
we
got
got
paid
paid.
for 12-year-olds, 12 going on 13.
Listen, we weren't, yeah, it wasn't paper route money. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, it
You
was,
know, we were
so how did things change for you, or did they change, in any way?
after Zoom, I did another show. I believe it was called Knock First, like when I had I had my room renovated with 2 friends and got a dog. He did my room over, and then we had to move, and it was just, like, back to normal. Nothing really nothing really changed for, m nothing really changed, like, for my mother and I, like, things were still the same, but going into high school, now that I'm, like, see, Pablo, I'm thinking about a lot. Now that we're touching on this because I haven't talked about this. I think
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I see some of the reasons why some people weren't so friendly, or they
Yeah.
thought I was, you know, the ish, or I don't
Mhm.
know. Now I can
Mhm.
see why things were kind of the way they were. Um but I also had a good high school experience. I didn't really let it bother me much. I've always been kind of a person who, it's like, your issues, not my issues. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? You have to work on that. But of course, in high school, it bothers you a little bit. But I still have always been that person. Like, yo, I don't know what your issue is, but I'm cool. You know.
And what about going forward in life? What was that journey after Zoom?
I'm, I'm gonna keep it 100. Yet again, Pablo, we keep it 100. Uh, well, listen, my mother says the aliens abducted me, okay? Because I was like, whatever, out with my friends, like out late, like I started teenaging, like I don't started teenaging. So went to go live with my dad, and now I had to re-enter high school all over again. It was that experience again of making new friends, not
So you changed high schools.
yeah, yep. Changed high schools. Lived with my dad for the last 2 years of high school, and then I was off to college. Off to college,
Wow.
and then yeah, life took off.
What did you end up studying?
So I have a degree in social and political systems from Pine Manor College. It's a Bachelor of Science. And it's am I using it? Nah. um, so I'm a learning specialist at a high school out here in Rhode Island. So I work with high school students, and it's it's been a pleasure. I've worn many hats.
Mm.
And the type of high school it is, students are learning through internships and real life experiences. So when they come to me and they say, Lynese, I want to work in the medical field because I have worked in the medical field, I can say, oh, I've worked in dermatology, I've worked in plastics and reconstructive surgery, I've worked in family care. Like, I can help you with these things. And that's what I love about it.
It's almost in a way you're doing what you were doing on the show, but now you're
Hmm.
doing it
Now I'm
like,
doing it like
you know,
in real life.
together
Yeah.
in real life,
Yep.
which is really, really cool. Providing education in a way, guidance,
Hmm.
counsel, right? Like,
Yes.
I think how a lot of people saw us as a big brother, a big sister, or a friend. Um, and being able to be there for them is it's nice that you can
Continue
continuing
to
to do
do
that
it.
in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right.
You might not be starting by doing your Bankhead
Kids are
intro
Lynese. Oh,
at work.
if I were to show, okay, so let me tell you, my daughter is 17, turning 18 next month.
So let's just yeah, because that's the other thing. You are a
I
mom.
am. I am a mother of two. My daughter Layla is 17, turning 18. She is a senior in high school. Oh, whoop, whoop. And then my son Noah, he is in the 6th grade, and he is 11, going on 12 in March. And both of them are just chef's kiss.
I can't believe that your son is at the almost at the age that you
I know.
were
We're
when you were
on
on
this
the show.
show. Yeah. And I show them the
Wow.
videos, and they're like, yeah, they clown me, Pablo. They clown me. They're like,
They do?
they clown me. They're so not impressed, like, at all. Like, "Alright, moms." It's alright. It keeps me, it keeps me level-head, you know?
It keeps you
It
grounded.
keeps me grounded, you know?
Ki kids, I got 2 young kids too, they definitely do. They definitely make sure, like, "Look, You're not the boss.
Like, no, let me remind you, actually. Yeah.
Right. Have you ever done any of the things that you did on the show with your kids? Like, any of the
You
recipes
know,
or
I have not, but I do like to make the zebra cake. My son does like to cook, but he likes to experiment things that he sees like on the internet. So we've made some pretty wonky dishes. But as far as like a Zoom cafe dish, no, we haven't done that yet, but we're going to get on that. We're going to get on that.
is that the one that you remember the most, the zebra
The
cake?
zebra cake. Didn't we also make like some tacos? We made some tacos.
Yep.
Um, but I think I remember the
You made
I
ice
made
cream
ice cream
too, homemade
too.
ice
Yep.
cream
In the can. I remember that. We did make some
in the
ice
can?
cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. Zoom Sai, I did the Are They Cloves in
Yeah, yeah.
orange. Um, I brought those home too. I had those for quite some time.
Do you have any Zoom memorabilia? Like, anything that you've kept?
I had a couple of the little postcards, but my mother took those
Yeah.
from me. I do have my apron, and I definitely wear that when I cook sometimes. So, yes, I do still have
Wow.
my Zoom apron. Yes.
That's
Mhm.
amazing,
And I
like,
put it on my son sometimes when he cooks.
that's amazing.
Yeah,
That apron is iconic.
it is.
That is like
I think I actually
yeah,
stole it back
wow.
from my mother because she had it for a little bit, and I was like, "Oh, this belongs to
I think your mom
me."
needs to give she needs to also give you back the Zoomerangs, like,
Right.
you need
Yes, Zoomerangs. That's yes. I had a couple Zoomerangs, and those went zoo bye-bye.
what's something that people might be surprised to learn about you today? Are you still dancing? Like, who's Lynese? Is the Lynese today the same Lynese? Like,
She's definitely not the same Lynese, but the same Lynese in the sense that my spirit is still the same. Like, you will never shake this spirit. Like, I'm still joyful, I'm still silly, I like to joke about things, and that's just always gonna be who I am. This has always been who I am. I love to make people smile, and if we can carry a joke, we gonna carry the joke. But, I'm also still I'm also still trying to find who this version of Lenice is. I feel like I'm always changing, and I don't want to bring up signs or anything, but I'm a Scorpio. Like that's what we do. We evolve, we change, we do it all over again. So in this phase, I don't I'm still trying to figure out who I am at this phase and just how to be 100% authentically me and live in what I'm supposed to be doing. And I think teaching
mm,
is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I
yeah.
just want to be better at it and gain more wisdom to share.
When you think about Zoom and public media, today,
Oh,
given how central it was to your childhood and your experience, what is that type of, those type of programs, public media and the types of programs, like, how important do you think it is, for people given what we did
mm,
and what we experienced?
programming like we did? I don't know if I see any programming like we did for kids, by kids, with kids who are sitting and writing letters to send in to Pablo. Are children even being taught how to fill out envelopes to send letters? No, no,
Right.
I have no. Um, but to answer your question, yeah, I don't know if I've seen like a show like we produced or gave
Mhm.
to young kids our age at that time.
I mean, in a way, if you think about it, like, the segments that we did were kinda like short form content that now you see on
Like
YouTube, that now you
shorts.
see on Yeah,
Mhm, mhm,
little segments, little things,
mhm.
and we were doing that, but then bringing it together as one
As a
show, and I
show.
think the the beauty of that was you felt like you were part of a community.
Mm,
You felt like you were part of something bigger,
uh-huh.
and yeah, I think there's not a lot of that.
No, I think I feel that way now. I mean, we've said before when we were younger, I wasn't thinking about that. I didn't think about it. Um, but to be on a television show now, with the media and just so much public opinion, and I don't know if I could do that. I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't know if
right.
I would be brave enough to do that now at 12.
Right. Before we wrap it up, I have what I'm calling like Zoomer cues, rapid fire questions, one word answer or a few words. I'm
Okay.
just going to go and you're just going to go. Okay. Favorite activity from the show?
What's the show where we were acting? So,
Zoom
yes,
Playhouses.
Zoom Playhouse.
Zoom Playhouse. Favorite Cafe Zoom recipe?
We'll say the zebra cake.
The Zoom theme song or the Zoom address song?
Email, send it to Zoom. Or email, send it to Zoom. To who? That one. Yeah, that was a bop. That's what the kids would call it today. That was a bop.
I remember this for whatever reason. We went into that recording booth when we did the songs, and
Mhm.
I was like, this is my environment.
Being in the studio was another favorite of mine. I actually
Mm.
did enjoy being in the recording studio and us doing our little parts and hearing everything come together, seeing how it worked. That was a favorite of mine too. That was
Yeah.
the first time that I'd ever been in a recording studio. So seeing everything and getting to go into the room and hearing the acoustics and us playing with our voices like while in there, that was really fun for me.
All right. Ubby Dubby or Fanny Dooley?
I'll say ubby dubby. Ubba bubby dubba bubby.
Can you make up a Fanny Dooley on the spot?
No. Couldn't do it. I'm
That's
sorry.
a hard pass.
That's a hard fact.
Do you still remember the choreography from the show,
Yes.
from that opening?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Finish this sentence. If you like what you see, turn off your
And
TV.
do it. So, so,
The-
so.
No, so, so. This was amazing. This was amazing.
But
Is there anything else that you wanna share or well, I mean, you've shared so much, and I think that this was just a way for not only us to reconnect,
mhm,
but
mhm.
also for those that watched
Yes.
us, watched you to kind of get to know you more and also come together and hear about how your experience was and
Yeah.
on the show, off the show, and how you're doing today.
I'm just very thankful to be able to sit here and connect with you. And I just, I don't know. I almost had some tears flowing, Pablo. But it's always so nice when I get a video in my inbox, from a fan or from someone who just remembers me. They always come to me when I need them. When I'm maybe in a mood or I might be feeling down about something or life is lifing, someone will send a video and it's like, "Yo, you was hitting that move, Al," and it lifts me up. Or, "Thank you for being on the show. You were an inspiration." It lifts me up. It makes me feel good, that I was able to make you feel good, in times when you needed it. So thank you for being
Yeah.
there for me in times when I need it, and thank you all for letting me in your homes. Like, it's
Yeah.
cool.
It's really a beautiful thing and such a unique thing, you
Mhm.
know? And it's super cool, super cool. Thank you, Lynese, for coming on.
Yes.
This was amazing. You know, I hope everyone continues to keep in touch and check in and all of
We
that.
need to. We need to hold each other accountable, and we need to go have those adult beverages and catch up. Yes. Yes, Imma hold you to it. I'm gonna hold you accountable.
Let's do it. The